One, two, three. Okay, kia ora and welcome to episode 2 of the Solo Sessions. This is like a little side project that I'm doing for the next year, where every week on a Sunday afternoon, evening, I sit down and just kind of talk through action from the week. What's been going on, what's been happening. Could be news, could be music, could be anything in between. I'm going to start off this week with an update, okay? So I've come in reasonably unprepared, which isn't, I just want these to be kind of free-flowing and random, but, I'm already losing there we go. I want to update you. Last week we talked about Tom and Jane's wedding. I was nervous, I was anxious, I was freaking out a little bit about doing my first wedding for photography. Now, I filmed a bunch of weddings, but photography, this was my first time, and it was meant to be a bit low-key. There were some friends of mine, they were like, you'll be fine. So, update. Started the day about 10:15-ish and went through to about the 9:30, 10 o'clock mark. It was a big day, and props goes to any photographers, wedding photographers, well, photographers in general out there. Ooh, it was a hard day. It was like hard yakka. Just when you thought, there's some little savouries rolling past, I'll grab one of those. Like, because they're my friends, they were like, just come along and just be real chill. But I was like, they look nice. I've got to go take photos of this. I've got to take photos of that. And being at a wedding where you are like snapping everything all day, it was mad. It was hectic. Like, I felt like there was not much time to breathe. Luckily, we did bounce between a couple of venues where they were staying to take some photos earlier in the morning. So that was like a 20-minute drive. So there was like time to just like chill and chat with the bridesmaids that I was driving. But everything went really well. Congrats to Tom and Jane if you're tuning into this bad boy. It was an awesome day, fun day. Good to catch up with a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in so long. And yeah, loved it. The experience was amazing. I've downloaded the pictures. Oh my god. So that's the second part of it. You get back about 11ish last night, sit down and be like, right, okay, do I download everything? So I downloaded all 6,000 or so files that I had from my two cameras. And then today I sat down going through, picking all the ones that I wanted to start to work with and play with. And I'm at the 700 and something, 705 mark photos that I'm like, this is my starting point out of the 6,000, because there'd been heaps of ones where I was like just taking heaps of photos. Now I'm going to cull that back and deliver as many as I'm really stoked with, and that's going to be the next part of the process. But fingers crossed I nail that, and fingers crossed they're happy. I sent him through a few quick files today, and they were stoked with those. So hopefully they share them on social media, and hope they enjoy the day. Whew, that was a doozy. I felt pretty tired from that one yesterday. But next thing I want to address is, if you have not watched the video version of these bad boys, I looked at the camera very minimally in the first episode of the Solo Sessions. And at the stage of recording, I don't think I'd called it that. I think it was just, I think I called it like a thingy or something. I don't really know what it was. But Solo Sessions has a nice ring to it. And I was like, well, it's just me breaking it down, so let's keep it simple. But I didn't look at the camera much. I was kind of like staring off at my plant in the corner there and my guitar and just like chatting away. If you're like, hey, that's creepy, you should look at us more on the camera and you watch the video versions of these, let me know in the comments below. But if you're like a podcast peep and you're like, I don't really care, you sound the same either way, then let me know as well. I'd love to know who tunes in and to which format. The other thing that's been dominating my mind and my YouTube searches this week has been FPV drones. Now, they're like those tiny, or they can get a bit bigger, but drones that are like, they capture crazy angles. They could do loops and flips, and they drop down the sides of buildings, and they're zipping in and out of trees, and they're like, they give you that first-person view where you're literally wearing your goggles and you're fully getting into it. Now, a friend of mine, Josh, he has been into these for a while, and he bought a remote controller, because the big thing with these drones, like, I've flown a bunch of drones before, and so has he, and so have many of my friends, and man, they're good nowadays. You can sit a drone up in the air, think about things, have a cup of tea, and that baby will still be sitting there in pretty much the same spot. Whereas these, if you think about what you had for breakfast, you're probably gonna crash. It's like so sensitive, and you've got to be so focused, and they're super hard to fly. So Josh, my friend, he bought a remote controller and then just was showing me the simulator where you sit down, practice, because if you crash in the simulator, obviously you can just restart that bad boy. So I bought a controller. I've started the roll on the FPV world, and it was a couple $100, and I'm going to sit down, dedicate a good few weeks of just the simulator, try and get confident, and then fly it, and then build my own drone, and buy a little mini one maybe, and just kind of have fun with it. It's like a new little hobby. Sounds like if you build your own, there's a bit of work to do, a bit of putting pieces together. And my dad loves that stuff. So this could be a classic father-son in the workshop, using the tools, just bantering. He loves drones as well. So maybe this would be a cool, like, fun thing to do with Dad. So I pitched it to him, and he's like, mate, let's do it. So that could be an interesting wee side hobby. I talked to Nicole about it earlier today, and she already knew about it. She loves the videos, thinks they're pretty cool. But she was like, well, what's the difference between the other drones that you've flown in the past? And what about the drone laws and all of that jazz? And the big thing that kind of held me up in the past with drones was that I was getting to the stage with my videography career that I was working for bigger brands and bigger businesses, and if they did want drone footage, I didn't want to go through all the rigmarole of like trying to figure out and apply and do all that stuff. Some people say it's easy. I feel like it's a bit of a burden. So I'd either bring in external people, or I'd just not offer it. Like, that was the easiest way to do it. If you heard that beautiful bark, my dog Tansy is in the room in the studio tonight because she's cooking. It's like 30 degrees today, but she's just panting away, and obviously dogs are in the neighborhood. Oh my gosh, lost my train of thought like nobody's business. Yeah, okay, so drone law. So the purpose of this FPV drone, I want to chuck some stuff on Instagram. I want to have fun with it. I want to do missions and find cool places to fly it because it gives such a unique perspective. It'll be fun. But it may be something that I had to tinker with for the next few months at least before I get anything good that I can share too much. So stay tuned for that. Breaking news, but probably not really if you're listening to this a few days later. There's a bit of royal family stuff going on, okay? Now, I'm not like a huge advocate or a massive fan of the royal family. I'm kind of like, oh, it's buzzy. It's a buzzy thing that there's a royal family and that they do their thing. But there's been some news this week, and Prince Harry, I'm just reading off stuff, a latest article, but Prince Harry's kind of, and his wife Meghan, however you say it, they've been like, hey, we don't know about this whole royal thing. We might want to just take a step back for a bit and do our own thing. Totally interesting concept. Oi, what are you doing? Hey, totally strange. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I was watching a BBC video and they're like, there's no way that can happen. That's so disrespectful and all this. But yeah, they're like, hey, we've kind of just been given a hard time by media. It's a lot of pressure and all that jazz. And they wanted to step back and kind of do their own thing and live between like Canada and the UK. I don't know. But I just thought, hey, newsworthy this week. It's so interesting to see them kind of going off on their own path and doing their own thing. So interested to see where this goes. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you a royal family fan? Like, do you even think they are worthwhile? And you're like, or are you like, don't waste your time with this. What a stupid, it shouldn't even be on the news. Are you one of those type of people? I'm super interested. Yeah, I just thought it was big and like, so it's classic, like young, okay, they're probably not that young, but like classic this era, or like these generations are like, hey, if life's not working for you, or if you want to make a change, you can just make a change. I had an interesting conversation with one of my friends last night at the wedding after they'd had a few brewskis, but it was about kind of figuring out what you want to do in life. If what you're doing at the moment is not making you happy, then making a change in the right direction or to where you want to go. Like, it was such a simple concept that it was just, it was just some people in life, and you may be one of them, you're driving to work right now to a job that you're like, oh my God, I hate this. And it's been interesting for me in the last, 3 to 5 years where quite often I've sat back and been like, right, does this feel good? Is this right for me? And if so, sweet, let's just soldier on. But if you're like, no, I'm not enjoying this, then reflect on why and kind of move in a direction that you think will be best for you. I had a random conversation last night with a good friend of mine about that, and this kind of seems like that's what they've done. They're like, hey, well, this isn't working for us, so we're going to do what we want to do because it's their life and they want to enjoy themselves. Super interesting. Pumped to be catching up with a good friend, Wayne and Cheryl. Wayne, aka CW Works, he makes like custom, he doesn't custom everything. He uses like recycled skateboards, and it's like a science to this, but he just makes it look super easy. And he creates amazing knives and amazing like chopping boards and amazing various things. Catching up with him and his wonderful partner, wife, are they married? Partner. Geez, you don't want to say wife if they're not married. This week, and I want to do some more filming for Wayne. If you have not seen his stuff, check him out on Instagram at CWWorks. If you are easily offended, I would think twice. He's one of those guys who, speaking of like speaking your mind and doing what you want to do, man, he just doesn't give stuff about anything. He's like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm going to say what I want to say, and just kind of like rolls with the punches. Buzzy dude, such a nice guy, and his posts and captions sometimes crack me up. He's a funny ass dude. I am bouncing around heaps here, but in a couple of weeks I'm heading to Palmerston North for a CrossFit competition. It's called the Taurus Trios. I'm with a couple of mates from 6'4 Fitness Gym, Spencer and Uncle, aka Jared, aka everyone just calls him Uncle. And this is my first ever CrossFit competition. Semi freaking out about it. One of the criteria for this is that you can do handstand push-ups, and I can't do those. So we had a chat about that today, a bit of a team meeting, and Uncle in our team, he's like, nah, I'm not doing them either. So it looks like if there's a workout with them in, Spencer is going to have to be stepping up for the team, or it looks like I need to learn how to do them quick smart. Yeah. In terms of music this week, oh my gosh, can I give you I hope you like that song German. It's just like annoyingly catchy. Something to check out maybe this week if you have not listened to Justin Bieber's latest track, Yummy. I really want to pull up some stats right now. But if that's your cup of tea and Justin Bieber's your cup of tea, then hey, I think it's an interesting and catchy tune. But what I'm really wanting to send you to is Parris Goebel. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her name, but Parris Goebel. She's like super duper famous for. Can I hear that and you can't? Super duper famous for her dancing and her Royal Family dance crew. They put out amazing videos, and I've been watching them for years. They're pretty cool. But I'll leave you on this. If you have not checked out their video, their Yummy video, it's a group of them dancing around, having a bit of fun. But pretty boss. If you saw Justin Bieber's video, Sorry, ages ago, that's some of that crew. But big shout out to Parris. I know you'll probably be tuning in. Well shot. Big shout out to the cinematographer or whoever they had on that for that bad boy. It was freaking epic. But man, it's good. And segueing from that, so if you just search Yummy by Justin Bieber, Parris, Goparris, Parris, and Goebel, you'll find her and you'll find the video and the whole crew. Last segue is TikTok. Now, I'm going to talk more about TikTok in another episode, probably a podcast with some of the boys, but I've been barely TikToking / like on the platform because I've got Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I downloaded Twitter this week after like a couple of years off, so I've been playing around with a bunch of different platforms, and TikTok is one that just is mindless. You can sit on there and have a bit of a laugh for a few minutes, but on there, Justin Bieber signs on. He's made 3 videos when I last checked, and it was just him in his kitchen filming himself singing his own song and just dancing. And the caption was like, do a video with your friends and record that. And I was like, I see what you're doing, Justin. All the young kids are on the platform. They like you. I get it. And it's just like him. He can do whatever he wants, and millions of people watch it. Then all of a sudden people are like, I'll do that. I'll make a wee video. And then all of a sudden his song is getting played on thousands and thousands and thousands of TikToks, which just spreads that song, makes that song go viral. I'm like, strategic. It looks like it's just him having a bit of fun, but he's being very strategic about the whole thing. I think, hey, well played, because it's a damn catchy song, and he's a savvy guy. I don't write off Justin Bieber. Some people hate him, but I think he's taken time out for himself, and he's putting some new docu-series on YouTube. I saw the trailer for that recently, and I'm going to watch that, because he's an interesting dude. Didn't think I would finish on Justin Bieber, but the solo sessions is just what's going on in the dome. If you're watching the video, I hope that I looked at the camera enough for your liking. If you're tuning in, I hope you're liking a little bit of a solo sesh, about a 10 to 15 minute chat. I was going to say yarn, so I was about to say charn. It's unedited, as you can tell. I hope you had a good week, and I hope you're ready to rip into the next one. Take care. I always do a peace sign and a thumbs up whenever I finish my videos. I don't know why, but I need to phase that out. Take care, team. Hope you have a good week. Peace. Oh, see, I say peace as well. Oh, bye.